Hey guys, just wanted to drop some information off with you. I'm going to pull up this presentation. I'm actually going to open it in Kami so I can write on it as we talk about it. We are talking about this idea of connect before content. And what does that mean as we go into a new semester, whether it's a whole new chunk of classes or if it's just the same classes with different faces mixed together. So connect before content, what does that look like? Why is it so important? And when we think about it, we're thinking about it in terms of how do we get to really good group collaboration in our classrooms? How do we get to that idea of student-led learning, getting after it, working together, working in groups, holding each other accountable? How do we get to that focus time of collaboration? This morning when we met, we talked about it, or Tony talked about it as these stages of relational capacity and what we're working toward, right? We start off with this low risk, high comfort. That's the type of activities, and we're just initiating the process. We move into moderate risk, moderate comfort, and eventually our goal is to flip it, and now we're in high risk, low comfort, and focus again on that student-centered area. So essentially, we've got our risk, it's starting low, and our goal is to be able to increase the risk. Now, it's not going to be linear. Nothing ever feels linear quite like that. While doing that, we've got the comfort. We start off with high comfort, right? We want people to feel comfortable. New semester, new classes, sometimes we've got that little bit of anxiety built up about how it's going to go. So we want to start off with comfortable, and then as we progress, we want to take some of that comfort away. We want to help them push out of their comfort zone because that's where really, really good learning happens. Now, these 4 stages, these are obviously quick hitters of what's happened in each one. If you want more detail, there are some more in-depth information on each one. You can totally click on that link in the actual PowerPoint. Ultimately, here's the goal. Relationships lead to trust. Trust leads to risk-taking, right? If I'm comfortable with you and I trust you, I can do some more things that I might not normally do. And then that risk-taking and growth mindset, when we're outside of our comfort zone, that's where learning and growth happen. And that's our goal, right? That's what we want. That's what we've been building toward, and that's what we want to see in our classroom. So some things to think about as we start thinking about, like, how do I do this? First of all, we want to rely early on information and connection. So do students understand expectations, protocols, and procedures? Do they have the information they need to be successful in pre-calc, in biology, in strength for the journey, whatever it is? But then also, will they be encouraged to be themselves? Do they have that connection? Do they independently interact, right? So we're giving them information and we're giving them also connections. That's what we're working on in those early stages of class. How do we do this? So we've got a couple things pointed out here, including some student handouts, but these are large group community building activities. So games, bingo, would you rather, 2 truths and a stretch, right? With would you rather, one thing I love is that it takes away having to come up with an answer. If you ask me my favorite, I think of the Miss Congeniality scene where she's like, what's your favorite, what would be your perfect date? And she's like, April 25th, not too hot, not too cold, right? Totally misinterpreted the question, but gave an answer that made sense to her, right? In a would you rather, it's either this or that. Would you rather have a foot of snow or would 110-degree day, right? Boom, boom, boom. There's your 2 choices. Which one fits you? Go. And now I'm living in the information given to me, right? I don't have to come up with my answer and whatnot. So that's something that's really cool. And if you need some would you rather statements, there's some in those handouts. There's some on the internet, and we can definitely put some in your hands if you need them. The other one that I thought was cool here, they're all cool, but this 2 truths and a stretch, this idea of periodically pulling up one student's list. So maybe on the first day, you give everyone an index card. Hey, write 2 truths and a stretch or 2 truths and a lie on here about you. Then you gather them all up. And then maybe on Thursday or Friday of this first week, you're going to do 2 of them. And then maybe next week on Tuesday, you're going to do 2 more. And so you're circling back to them to try and continue the groundwork that you've laid, which I thought was really cool. Now, some more one-on-one opportunities. This 112 is kind of cool if you haven't seen that. It just provides students a structured sharing time with a partner. So the first partner shares for a minute, second partner kind of repeats back and clarifies and whatnot. Second partner shares, first person, and then the 2 minutes they get to talk about things that they heard and ask questions and whatnot. And again, it's in the handouts. If you've got other great ideas, you can add them here, right? If you're like, I have something that I do and I love, maybe you have a spin on something. Maybe you've got a great idea in the partner activity or in that partner interview of something you've done. Like maybe like, yeah, I do this interview and here's the questions and we build a paragraph because we always need practice on writing and so on and so forth. Maybe write it. We'll share those out so people have lots of resources to pull from because there's ideas out there and it's not on you to have to come up with them. It's just hopefully finding which one's going to be the best fit for your class that you feel the most comfortable executing to start on that safe shaping of your third hour, let's say. Finally, if you have questions or want more information, there are 3 links here at the bottom, right? I shouldn't say at the bottom, but on this last slide that you can totally click on. This synchronous, it is obviously meant like thinking about in terms of a Google Meet, but anything we do synchronously in a Google Meet, we of course can pull back on that and plug it into our classroom. It just might take some tweaking, and that's all teaching is, right? Adapt and adjust and tweak and make the magic happen. So if you've got further questions, please don't hesitate to follow up. I hope your planning's going well. I hope you're having a great day, and let's do this. Here we go. Tomorrow's coming.